you recording me, Victor?
Yes.
It's a crime if you don't declare that, I want you to know. So if you're capturing anybody's voice here at all and you don't tell them you're recording them, it's a crime.
So what about freedom of the press, First Amendment?
That has nothing to do with freedom of the press. You're capturing people's voice. And if you don't, and they're not consenting to it, and you don't tell them about it, it's a crime, okay?
Okay, but the First Amendment...
You. All right.
Do you know the Constitution?
First Amendment you can say what you want to say, but it doesn't mean you have the right to capture other people's voices.
What? Bro.
You got a gun on you?
Yes.
Okay.
Lawfully.
Lawfully?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I appreciate that. Where are you coming from?
I don't...
looking for somebody who has a gun. That's why.
Okay. I don't answer questions, with all due respect.
Okay. Are you with anybody else?
No.
Okay.
Just me by myself.
You're good, man.
All right.
Like I said, I'm not going to hold you up much longer. I appreciate talking to you like always, but just keep that in mind. You'll probably get contact with us just as we get the calls.
Right, and I'm sure I'll get to know you guys very well. Just for the record, what's your name and badge number? And here they are right now. Good. Quick question. Am I being detained?
No, you're not being detained, man.
Okay, cool. Consensual conversation.
Just so you know, everything's being recorded. I'm Deputy Ballister.
Perfect. I'm Victor, the AR guy. You can find me on YouTube.
You say you can find me on YouTube. Yo. Oh man, I must have listened to that like 5 to 10 times editing this video, man. I'm Victor, the AR guy. You can find me on YouTube. Yo, man, my man does not lack courage, man. Shout out to Victor, man. Y'all go check him out. Subscribe to his channel. I definitely left the link in the description, man. My man is cold-blooded, man. He don't play the radio. He comes across to me as one of those people who's funny without even trying to be. And it makes, you know what I mean, what he has going on just even that more entertaining, I'll say. Even though the situation he got himself into was serious, he handled it like a pro. And it's nothing to play with. But we're going to talk more about that on the back end. Let's see what Victor got himself into, man.
What's up, everybody? Victor, the AR guy. So, I'm not sure what's happening. But for those of you that do know what's going on, because you guys were next to your scanner, let us know in the comment section. Looks like somebody's injured. Sheriff. It looked like that guy had a box of some sort. Maybe like insulin or something. I really don't know. One sheriff, two sheriff, three sheriff. Chief Tim Plummer. Howdy.
Are you recording me, Victor?
Yes.
It's a crime if you don't declare that, I want you to know. So if you're capturing anybody's voice here at all and you don't tell them you're recording them, it's a crime.
So what about freedom of the press, First Amendment?
That has nothing to do with freedom of the press. You're capturing people's voice. And if you don't, and they're not consenting to it, and you don't tell them about it, it's a crime, okay?
Okay, but the First Amendment...
All right.
Do you know the Constitution?
First Amendment you can say what you want to say, but it doesn't mean you have the right to capture other people's voices.
But there's 5 points to the First Amendment.
I understand them all.
Freedom,
now,
do you?
Let's go on to another thing, okay? Remember the interview you had with us? Yeah. Do you think this helps your cause?
I'm just out here exercising constitutional rights. You took an oath to uphold the Constitution, didn't you?
It's not the conversation we're having today. Not the conversation.
Did you not take an oath?
I'm trying to help you understand. Do you think this helps your cause?
I'm not going to answer any questions.
Okay, there you go.
Did you not take an oath to uphold the Constitution?
Any questions?
Okay. What's your name and DPSST? Isn't that your policy? Can't trespass people from public. You can't trespass people's ears. You can't trespass. I mean, like, I'm out in public. Obviously, if it was a crime, he would have arrested me. So.
And I think we all know that, man. What happened there wasn't strange, man. It's a normal cop tactic, man. They will lie. They will try to deceive you. They will try to manipulate you. They will try to act like what they're doing is for your benefit. Usually what it is a bluff, because for whatever reason, most American citizens don't know even the most simple and basic rights that we have. I was once one of those people, and I still have a lot to learn, so I don't say that condescendingly. But, yeah, man, that was something that you will see all the time. Shout out for the AR guy for standing up to his rights. Wasn't really hard there. I always say in those situations, man, you never know how they're going to go, because cops can take the most simple thing and turn it into a murder case in which, you know, you have lost your life and they're going home with paid vacation and, you know, GoFundMes set up by the Back the Blue crowd. So you know, you just have to play it how it goes, man, and thank God that you get to make it home every time. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that to scare anyone. It's just a reality of what we do. So yeah, once again, shout out to the AR guy, man. But if you ever find yourself in a situation like this, man, just focus on knowing your rights. I always tell people one good place to start, no matter how much cops and whoever else try to, you know, the detractors make fun of auditors and cop watchers, man. That is one good place to start, because whether you agree with the guys and women out there doing that or not, they do set forth a lot of knowledge and information, you know what I mean? And they put it right in your faces, so you don't have to go searching for it. It doesn't take a lot of time and energy. So I just say that's a good place to start. Obviously, that's not where you should end up at. But definitely know your rights, man. So in situations like this, cops, you see, that was the chief of police. I don't think he was ignorant, you know, of what he was saying. I think he knows he was lying, but like I say, they can lie to most citizens and get away from it. Get away with it. And it didn't work here. The beautiful thing about this video, and that's what we're going to see, it's more testament to the type of person that the AR guy is, and also the type of community that this is. And I got to give a shout out to the police. I don't know what they went through to get to this point, but I'll let you see for yourself. And it is all a testimony against this incumbent. Isn't that what it means when you just got there? Bro, you just got there last July, something like that. Chill out, bro. Chill out. You ain't even been there a good hot year yet. You know what I mean? You already lying to the public and trying to violate people's rights. But let's see how good policing should go. Because I'm going to tell you, one of these officers actually shocked me, and I'll let you see for yourself.
That's crazy. Out of all the officers, the chief of police is the one to try to turn a constitutionally protected activity into a crime. This is your guys' chief of police right here. I don't know if y'all just seen that. This officer right here, chief of police, basically said it's a crime to record anything in public. He said audibly or not, he said it's a crime, which isn't true. Oregon State Supreme Court already ruled over that. So, Chief Police Tim Plummer, terrible job today. Took an oath to uphold the Constitution and he failed that oath. His officers are super good about it. His officers are real good about it. But even the deputies and the sheriffs, I've never had any issues with any of them. The only one I've had an issue with right here was Tim Plummer. Holy crap. Really surprising, because he's a high-ranking officer, supposedly. But he acts like a rookie. Looks like that's everything. Jeremy Skills is cool. Yeah, I got tired of it. Too much money on hair products. Nice to see you guys. You guys stay safe. Oh, these are inflation. Biden did it. Have a good one. Hey, doing good, brother. How are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Yeah, interesting thing, dude. I mean, like, I don't know what happened here, but what's even more interesting, Tim Plummer, the chief of police,
Yes, sir.
he told me that it was a crime to record in public. He told me, like, if you could hear things audibly, recording it, because there's a crime, then it's a crime. And I was like, dude, like, this is the First Amendment, freedom of the press, you know, the 5 points of the First Amendment, right?
Anything that you can see or hear in a public space
Right.
where there's not an obvious expectation of privacy, you're fully allowed to record. And
Right. And I stood my ground on it. It was very interesting, though, coming from the chief of police, because I've never dealt with the other cops
I
like
wasn't
that.
there, so
You can watch it on my Facebook later.
it'll be on your Facebook?
Yep, yes, sir.
Alrighty.
Have a good one. Stay safe.
Take care, Victor.
So as you can see, he seems to be telling the truth. He has a good rapport with the other officers. I also watched a few of his other videos, so I actually know he's telling the truth. It just wasn't this group of officers. He mentioned that he's been open carrying for 5 years, and you know, he's trying to set a tone, you know, about the Second Amendment, and he wasn't wrong here. We know who was wrong here. So once again, man, shout out to him. I was surprised to hear that last officer, affirm his rights in direct contradiction to his chief, because you don't often see officers do that. Let me sip some of this water. You don't often see officers do that, and I'm sorry if that was noisy. And you definitely don't see them do that against their superiors. You know what I mean? Officers are experts at finding ways to disagree with you as a citizen and agree with their co-conspirating peers, whether they're right, wrong, or criminal. You know what I mean? So I was surprised to see that. And I was also surprised to hear him quote. You know what I mean? I don't know if he does that as part of his job. He educates himself, or he's been watching Auditors. He quoted, you know what I mean, our right to film in public. So that was good. I have a video of an officer doing that too when I was cop watching. So that's pretty dope to see. The only thing I will critique in this video, and I just use that word critique because I couldn't think of another one real quick. I don't necessarily like how auditors, cop watchers ask the police, am I detained? I see a lot of situations where, to me, in my opinion, it couldn't be more clear the officers aren't even thinking about detaining you, but once the auditors or the person brings that up, it's like, oh yeah, I do have that weapon in my back pocket. Personally, I think when you encounter officers, you have to make them do their jobs fully. Obviously, I'm not saying put yourself in harm's way, but I do think, I often ask this question, whose great idea was it that would be a staple in the policing community? Whose great idea was it that we all would agree to, you know, it was a good thing to ask police, are we detained? My logic is, sir, that's your job. If we're having, by default, the conversation we're having is consensual unless you have indicated legally otherwise and lawfully otherwise. You know what I mean? We know you can't just come up barking orders. So I don't think we should be asking police, are you detained? I think when you're done with the conversation or the encounter, you should do what you were doing or what you want to do. Me personally, I would just walk away. You know what I mean? I wouldn't pull that out of their back pocket for them and show it to them. You know what I mean? I would just walk away, and then it would be on them to say, are you detained? Because up until that point, that's why you always film. They're supposed to have their body cameras going. Up until that point, if they have not verbalized to you that you are detained, then obviously you aren't. So I never understood why auditors, cop watchers, policers volunteer to detain. I call it you volunteering to detain yourself. I'm never, and you know, reasonably speaking, going to ask an officer if I'm detained. I think that's something we need to eradicate in the auditing community. I think it only assists cops. I don't think it helps us at all. Someone came up with the great idea that it does, and I could see arguments that it does, but once again, I see much better arguments that they have to do their jobs fully, and they have to verbalize those types of commands and constraints. I don't think we should volunteer ourselves into their custodies. Y'all go check out, man, the AR guy, man, and shout out to you for watching the video. Hey, man, y'all feel free to call down there to Madras, or I should say up there to Madras, Oregon, man, to check on old Tim, man. That man don't know what the hell he talking about.
Are you recording me, Victor?
Yes.
It's a crime if you don't declare that, I want you to know. So if you're capturing anybody's voice here at all and you don't tell them you're recording them, it's a crime.
So
know
what
that.
about freedom of the press? First
That has
Amendment?
nothing to do with freedom of the press. You're capturing people's voice. And if you don't, and they're not consenting to it, and you don't tell them about it, it's a crime, okay?
No, the
First Amendment
Constitution-
you can say what you want to say, but it doesn't mean you have the right to
So,
capture other people's voices.
but there's 5 points to the First
Okay,
Amendment.
I understand them all.